Welcome. In this video, we'll see 7 steps of methodology that is test for input-based vulnerabilities. What basically we have to do is we have to fuzz all request parameters. In that, the first one is test for SQL injection. If any database error messages were returned, investigate their meaning, use SQL injection to help interpret error messages on some common database platform. If submitting a single quotation mark in the parameter causes an error or other behavior, submit to single quotation mark. Try using common SQL string concatenator functions to construct a string that is equivalent to some input, like this. If the application's logic can be systematically manipulated in this way, it is almost certainly vulnerable to SQL injection. The second step is test for XSS and other response injection. What you have to do is identify reflected request parameters and test for reflected XSS, test for HTTP header injection, test for stored attacks. The third is test for path traversal. The application may be checking the file extension being requested and allowing access to only certain kinds of file. Try using a null byte or new line attack together with a known accepted file extension in an attempt to bypass the filter, for example, like this. Fourth, test for script injection. If the application appears to be vulnerable, verify this by injecting further command specific to the scripting platform in use. For example, you can use attack payload similar to those used when fuzzing for OS command injection, like this. And the last and the fifth one, test for file inclusion. If you received any incoming HTTP connection from target application's infrastructure during your fuzzing, the application is almost certainly vulnerable to remote file inclusion. Repeat the relevant test in a single threaded and time-throttled way to determine exactly which parameter are causing the application to issue the HTTP request. So that's all in test for input-based vulnerabilities. For the script of what all I mentioned, do check description of this video. That's all. Thank you for watching this video.